Happy Monday, everybody. Vanity V here. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a great week. We're going to get right into this. We're going to get started right away. We are going to talk about the melee in Montgomery. Before we get started, let me go ahead and just do a disclaimer because I already see some of you imbeciles in my comments like, oh, you can't generalize and you can't talk about this and you can't put everybody in one basket. Let me just say, I'm not talking about all white people in this video. And excuse me if I'm like hyped up, but I'm upset about the trajectory of the way that society is still going. We're still having nonsense like this happen. I want to talk to you guys about it. So yes, I'm not talking, disclaimer, I'm not talking about all white people, all anybody. This is not a generalization for everybody. So if the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it, okay? So let's get into it. Let's talk about it, you guys. By now, and if you're here, I'm assuming you know that you have already seen all over TMZ, Shade Room, the blog, CNN, it's been everywhere about what happened, the huge melee that was in Montgomery, Alabama. I believe it happened on Saturday. Okay, in case this is your first time hearing about it, what happened was Montgomery's, I guess the area where they do a lot of sailing of boats, whatever dock that they have in Montgomery, Alabama, I'm not familiar with this. There was a complete and utter chaos breakout of a fight that happened because of some white people who, I don't care what anybody says, clear as day, these people, these white people, unfortunately, and again, this is not all white people, let me say that, but these particular white people in the South in Alabama were racist. They had it out for this black man. There was a black man who, because these white gentlemen, and there was women on the boat too that got the business, they had their boat docked in a location that it wasn't supposed to be docked in. A gentleman that worked for this particular company asked them to move their boat. Chaos ensued, and because a lot of white people have a superiority complex, okay? A lot of Caucasian people have this superiority complex where they don't want anybody to tell them anything. You know, how dare this black man tell me I need to move my boat? We see it every day. We know that Trump has escalated this behavior. The Trumpism, the Make America Great category of people. And we're going to use deductive reasoning. We don't know if these people fall into this category, but let's be honest, they probably do, okay? I feel pretty confident in saying that. So back to what happened. This black gentleman asked it was like one or two men, can you please move your boat? Or whatever he said. I guess all of the different audio will probably come out. We have gotten a lot of audio, but we haven't gotten everything. All the audio will probably come out in the coming days. He asked them to move their boat. It was in the way. There was another boat that needed to dock, a much bigger boat that was doing tours in the area. They refused to do it. They got upset and they hit that man. That gentleman hit that man for no reason. He hit this man. This older, he looked like an elderly black man, probably is in his 50s and 60s. The man was using so much restraint, you guys. I don't believe I saw that gentleman hit any of those young white men and older white men once. He hit him, and basically, to make a long story short, what happened was they jumped him. It was a group, I mean, I counted 5, 6, 7 of them. They jumped him, and of course, they could have killed him. Easily, it could have turned into a situation that we've seen so many times over and over again where we have innocent black men who are being murdered by white people, vigilantes, white cops, and all of it is because they don't like us, because of our skin tone. And I'm sick of sitting here and being quiet about it, and that's why I wanted to do this video so we can have a dialogue about it. They jumped him. And what ended up happening, there was a gentleman that saw what was happening. He came down, there was like a flight of stairs. He had to come down, and he broke it up. And then what we did also see, there was a young man who was on the boat that was trying to dock, that this older gentleman was trying to get them to get out of the way so this boat could dock. There was tons of black people on this boat. There was a young gentleman that jumped off that boat in the water. Don't be trying to say black people can't swim, because we can swim. Okay? Jumped off the boat, swam over there to protect this black man and to give him backup. So consequently, what ended up happening was it was a literal melee. More and more people came to support this man that was just doing his job and got jumped. And then we saw what happened after that. They got their asses busted. Do I condone violence? Absolutely not. Do I condone you just beating up on an innocent man for no reason other than you don't want to move your boat out of the way because you feel like you have some type of superior privilege over other black people. You don't want anybody to tell you what to do. Do I believe that you beat up on a man and jump him? Even women were jumping in to jump this man. Do I believe that that's okay? No. Do I believe that if you were being abused and jumped and that your life is at stake, that other people should jump into the situation to protect you? Yes. Okay, because if bystanders did not jump in to help this older gentleman, he could have easily been killed, and it's unfortunate. So of course, violence ensues. It's a fight. There's people taping commentary all over the place, and this is what I want to say about this. Is a couple things. Number one, I'm upset because when the police officers came on the scene, who were the first ones that they started to arrest? The black men. The black men who came to protect this older man. There was probably dozens of bystanders at that point. I mean, as the fight continued to roll on and roll on. Sorry, y'all, I'm sweating. It's hot. Black men came to protect, and like I said, I don't condone violence, but I'm saying there are certain instances where it's necessary to protect a human life. Police came on the scene, finally arrived on the scene. Why the hell did y'all come so late? That was my first thing. I'm like, where the police? There's no police officers, no security, no anything. It took them 4 or 5 minutes to get there. When they got there, you guys, who did they arrest first? Bingo, they arrested 2 of the black men. And I'm thinking, I'm watching all the videos, and literally, you go on Twitter, there's videos from all angles, all over the place, you guys. You can literally find every single angle that you could think of, in a circumference to see the different angles of how the fight looked, from different places. Why did they arrest the black men? Even the black police officers were putting black men in handcuffs before they put the white gentleman in handcuffs. That's a problem. Why are we always the ones that get arrested? It's like no questions asked, we're going to arrest the black people on the scene because, obviously we must have been the ones that were responsible for starting it. No. And I did hear in some of the videos, there were certain people like, no, you're arresting the wrong person. You need to arrest them. Oh, no, him over here, Carl over here, or, whatever their names were, or, John over here. You need to arrest them. They're the ones who incited this whole situation. Eventually, they started to arrest the white men. And I believe that there was some Caucasian women that got arrested as well, right? So we have one set of a fight that ends, and then we have a whole other set of a fight. I don't even know how that fight started, where there was a white gentleman, and every single time, you guys, it was the white people starting it. We're tired. Black people, we're tired. We always have to be the bigger, better, more responsible party. I'm not saying that black people are not responsible for violence in our own way. I am not saying that. I am not absolving us from the other issues that we have in our communities. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that when it comes to situations that involve Caucasian people and black people, we always have to be the bigger person. We always have to just take it. They can call us the N-word. They can say this. They can do this. And we just have to deal with it. We have to be the bigger person. We have lots to lose. I'm a professional person. I have a daughter. I have, my home. I have, responsibilities. And if today, right now, a Karen came up to me and called me the N-word, you think I could haul off and hit her? I would be well within my right. But you think I could do that? They would throw me under the jail. I wouldn't get the same grace that they get when they get in trouble. They can cuss police officers out and nothing happens. We see it every single day. Something needs to be done about it. So, like I said, literally maybe 20 yards away, I don't know how the measurements go. Y'all know what I'm saying. There's another fight that started. We see, once again, a Caucasian man hits a black gentleman. But at that point, we was already in formation. We wasn't having that. We saw what happened. People stealing on each other left and right. Then we see the gentleman with the chair. He just started banging on people. Do I think that it's right? No. Do I understand it? Yes. Are we tired? Yes, we're tired. We're tired of this, y'all. We're tired of the constant abuse that we receive because of the color of our skin, and that's period. Now, granted, racism happens all over the country. Do I feel like the situation might have been different had this been San Diego? Probably. San Diego versus Alabama, we know the history of the South. We know, we're not going to pretend like it's not vigorously racist in the South still right now. Those red states, we're not going to act like that's not what the case is, okay? Okay, we're not going to do that. We're not going to front in this video today. And I don't want y'all fronting in the comments either. Like, we don't have a very serious issue in this country, all over the country, period. East Coast, West Coast, South, Midwest, whatever, but it's really bad in the South. So what do we do now? We see that there were multiple arrests. There definitely were more black people in that video getting arrested than the white people. And if anybody is aware of any GoFundMes where we can contribute to legal funds, please post it in the comments, because I personally would like to donate, because it's not cool. And I would hope that if that was my father or my brother or my son or whatever, and he was being beat up, he would be supported in that same way. I don't like how we have to constantly fight when we're minding our damn business. Everybody minding their business. That's usually the case when situations like this happen. We be minding our black ass business, and they keep effing with us and pushing us for no reason. There was no reason for them to put their hands on that man. That man was doing his job. He was at work. Why are you mad? What you mad for? Move your boat. Like, you don't, like, white people like that, they don't want any type of authority telling them what to do, because we see when they get pulled over with how they treat police officers. So they definitely don't want a black man to tell them to move. They're like, how dare you? I'm not going to move. Who are you? You're beneath me. That's the mentality, that we are beneath them. And the concept of Karens, that's the same thing. The literal audacity of a Karen to insert herself in business that she has no business, to try to tell you, oh, well, you can't be in this neighborhood. You can't walk in this neighborhood. You can't be in this park. What are you doing? Your music's too loud. Oh, you can't have a party, or you can't do this. It's like, it's a constant issue of them inserting themselves in business that has nothing to do with them when we're not hurting you. You just want to be able to tell us what to do, and we're tired, and we're starting to fight back. Literally. When necessary. Because again, I do not condone violence, but sometimes, what other choice do we have, you guys? It's just like, we try to be righteous, we try to be godly, we try to be of the Lord and loving and caring, and that don't always work. It doesn't work most of the time in situations like that. So I just thank God that there were people there to help him before that situation got really George Floyd-esque, okay? So then let's talk about, the culprits, some of these white people who are in the community. Y'all know one of the women there who was involved in the incident is a teacher. And from what I understand, the school was like sticking up for her, trying to make excuses. Oh, she wasn't involved, because you already know Black Twitter is on it. We're going to find out where somebody works. We're going to find out where you work, and we're going to send all of the messages and spam, and you're going to completely spam your job to make sure that they know what you did. And from what I understand, her job is trying to make excuses for her, saying, oh no, well, she was there, but she wasn't involved. Get out of here. Get her out of here. There's no way I want any type of teacher in my community teaching my daughter when that's the way she feels, and she thinks that that's okay. Because one of those women could have easily stopped the situation, and none of them did that. They didn't jump in to try to stop stuff until their husbands started getting their asses whooped. That's when they started trying to stop stuff, and that's not okay. Then we have the gentleman Chase who owns, I think it's called Vassar's Mini Mart in Selma, Alabama. Which when I even hear Selma, Alabama, I've never been, but it just brings up all kinds of thoughts of, uncomfortableness, irritation, just because of the history that we know of that specific and particular city. We see that people are leaving Google reviews about the Mini Mart. What does Google do? I left the review as well. I wasn't disrespectful. I just said that the owner of this company was involved in A, B, and C, and this needs to be investigated, and people shouldn't visit his establishment until it is. You know, Google removed the review, and if I'm not mistaken, if you go under Vassar's Mini Mart in Selma, Alabama, I think they cut off the reviews. Now, why did Google do that? To me, that's another level of support for the irresponsibility, the violence of this particular gentleman and the people involved against an innocent man. And don't get me wrong, if this gentleman, this black man was white, it would still be wrong. It's wrong. Why didn't you just move your boat? Why did you have to get physical? It's not okay. And everybody needs to be okay with a level of authority. If you're doing something wrong in someone's establishment, you know you knew when you parked your boat there, you didn't have no business or any type of authorization to do that. But he did it anyway. So it's just like, to me, it's like levels of protection by the police, by the community, by damn Google. And when are we going to receive that same protection? When are we going to feel comfortable? When are we going to feel safe that we're not going to have to deal with this? And again, I'm not okay with black people acting up unwarranted in any situation. But I'm also tired. We're tired. And that is exactly what y'all saw. Y'all saw a group of black people in the South, in the deep, deep South. Okay, we're not talking about Atlanta. This is the deep South and the root of evil when it pertains to black history and slavery and the enslavement of my ancestors. It's very deep, okay? And we're tired, and we're gonna stand up. We're not gonna take this anymore. We're not going to allow the situations like George Floyd and the endless situations. We're not gonna continue to allow that. We're not gonna stand by and allow it. And thank God for everybody who stood up for that man. And thank God for the people who also videotape. You know, this era of like videotaping everything, I'm so grateful for that, because imagine if there was no videotapes and this situation happened, it would be unfolding a whole lot differently. It will once again be a situation of black men and black women beating on this delicate group of white people on a boat. Like, get out of here. That's exactly what it would be had we not see the visuals of this. And that's we have to see it, because even like George Floyd, we already know. If we hadn't seen those visuals, you guys, of what happened to him, what y'all think that the police officers would have got away with everything. So I'm grateful that we do have now a state in social media where people are videotaping things and putting on Front Street and making sure that the world can see what's really happening. And I want that to continue. And unfortunately, it needs to continue, or I don't know the catastrophe that we would see. So I'm proud of the fact that the people that were at the actual incident did not allow it to turn into tragedy. And that's my takeaway from it. I'm not happy that happened. Obviously, I don't want to see anything like that. But I am happy that he had protection in that moment. So I'm curious, what do y'all think? Please drop that in my comments. You guys know I like to, engage and have dialogue with you guys. Drop that in my comments. Let me know what you guys think. Also, please like and subscribe. Share the video. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I know this is a controversial subject, but this is the hottest topic. And this really pissed me off. Like, outside of the entertainment that people are getting from, the different clips and videos, like, this is not okay. Something needs to be done. And I pray that Montgomery's mayor, who is black, as it should be, because if I'm not mistaken, that city is majority black. I'm hoping that justice prevails in every single person that was involved in inciting all of this and continuing it and jumping him. I hope they all go to jail for a very long time, because it's not cool, and they need to understand. They have to be made, it has to be an example made of this. So I hope the mayor gets very, very serious about investigating everything. And again, like I said, if y'all know the GoFundMe, please leave that in the comments so that everyone who sees this video, because these people are going to need legal help. That man that was throwing blows with the chair, he's going to jail. He's going to be in trouble. So I would like to donate personally. So please, if you have any awareness of that, leave that in the comments, okay? All right, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.